you that you feel like is negative. You try to
Gotcha.
package it and make it pretty and cute and wonderful before you hand them a box of turds.
A polished turd.
Right.
That
Gotcha.
part. That part. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I see everybody. I saw a coach. I saw a kiss from Jay. I saw B3 in the chat.
Coach.
Rodney
Hey,
pulled
Elevated.
up.
I
Yo,
apologize. It seems like I got a glitch. Every time I send a message, it sends the shit 4 times. So I'm not
That
doing
is
yeah,
it on
because
purpose.
no, you're fine. That's not you. That is
yeah, that been
StreamYard.
happening. It's StreamYard, bro. So
What's
shout
happening, Supreme, is, and I explained this once before. When you guys see that in the back comments, when you use that comment box in StreamYard, it sends it to everybody that is simulcasting.
Oh, okay.
So that means it's going to 4 different chats, and we're getting all of those picked back because
Yep.
this back feed in StreamYard is feeding from all 4 of those
Okay.
chats.
Yeah, that's
Makes
cool. I
sense?
didn't want him to think I was spamming the
Yeah.
chat.
Nah, yeah. You good, bro.
Spammer.
So before we got a little bit heavy into that talking point, Supreme did ask who deserves an explanation.
Yeah.
So the only people that actually deserve an explanation, like you guys said, was the higher power that you believe in, your spouse, your significant other, whatever the case. And if you feel so inclined, whoever it is that you literally hurt or something of that nature,
Right.
in my opinion.
I
On
don't know. I don't know if I owe anyone an explanation. And I say that because even when it comes to the higher power,
Mhm.
God already knows,
And
at least according to my belief system.
That's
exactly.
true. That's true.
So there's nothing that I can explain away to him. On the other hand, you have a person, let's say my spouse. Um, I don't have to over explain. I don't necessarily even owe him an explanation. But what I can do is tell him what happened and give clarity if there's questions. But the explaining part, no. I did it because that's what I wanted to do. Or I wasn't trying to do that, but that's what happened. I don't,
Right.
it's a thing of, I think the concept of over explaining is one of those things that people don't even realize that they do. Because when you're trying to tell someone something, that's all you're doing is telling them what happened. The
Mhm.
explanation that comes behind that is generally, why did you do that? You know, unless I'm in a space where I'm trying to get therapy and understand why I do the stuff that I'm doing, I don't owe you that explanation.
Mhm.
Right.
And even in that, it's not that I'm giving the therapist an explanation. I'm hearing my own thoughts and processes as I talk about it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I
Tina,
know.
would you go out of your way to explain to somebody who was offended by something that you said that you didn't mean it the way they took it, or would you just would you let it fall the way they took it? Fuck you, take it how you take it.
If I know if I know that I have offended someone, I
Anthony.
will apologize for the offense.
Mhm.
That's it. Adding anything to that is not an apology.
Right. It's an explanation.
See, I stepped on your toe, but really what had happened was, see, if your long foot went in the way, I'm not explaining all that.
Mhm.
I'm just going to say, you know what? I was wrong for stepping on your shoes. I should be more careful. I apologize.
Right.
That's it.
Well said. Well,
Right.
damn.
Hmm.
Okay. So, all right. So, why do we feel the need to explain ourselves so often? Yeah, we already touched on this question, but yeah, it's once again, I guess try to. I'm gonna label that back to people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Um,
Definitely.
everything everything always ties in with one another. So yeah, we explain ourselves because like was said, you just polishing up that turd to hand it to somebody,
Right.
and that's just
Well, and you don't think there's other situations like say at work or something where you have to over explain something to a director or somebody higher that you
No,
normally would not worry about, but you do have to do it in that case so that they understand, so they're not ripping into your butt for no reason.
no, no. I don't feel like there needs to be an over explanation. If my boss does not respect me, my over explaining is not going to help me get respect from them.
No.
I'm not
yeah.
saying in regards to respect. I'm just saying in regards to understanding.
It's no need to over explain. If I told this, if they respect me, because that's one of the underlying things about um even desiring for a person to respect you will cause you to over explain or overindulge in conversation that is unnecessary, mainly because you want them to be pleased with your answer. My thing is, if you're talking to someone of higher authority, it
Mhm.
is better to keep it as concise to the point as possible and
Sure.
clear. Be clear about this happened. I tried to take these matters, it didn't work. This is the results. That's it.
But
Right.
You
don't you
know,
think that's over explaining versus just saying, yeah, it's done?
well, this is the thing. You have processes at work. So
Right.
they may ask you, okay, how was it that you were able to do such and so and so without following this process? Well, I did this and this and this and this, and that's how I was able to come to this.
Mhm.
Right. That's what I was talking about. So I'm just, that's where my question was, don't you think in some situations, you're
That's not
forced to
over
over
explaining.
explain?
To teach someone or to educate someone on your process is not over explaining. Over explaining is when you butter it up. I really respect you as a boss and I would never do
Yeah.
this, and I'm sorry, and all that. When you get to that point, it's
Mhm.
something completely different other than
Yeah.
you just stating what the facts are.
What? So I would
Like to say something.
then say something, damn it, woman.
She said, "I would like to say something next, please."
But you're on mute, so you probably got to get rid of that first.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Maybe if you weren't on mute, we would have heard you wanting to say something.
No, listen, I didn't want to. Okay, so let me tell you this. See, now I feel like I'm about to over explain, but it's because, number one, why y'all laughing?
No,
No,
that's
no,
good. It's
we was
good. It was
laughing with
just, it
you,
was funny
Anthony.
that you said that. We were
We was
laughing with
laughing
you.
with you.
We
Oh,
laughing at
because
your
okay,
Bucky's hat.
because this is what I have noticed. So, like, if y'all notice what, hey, nice to meet you. Oh, this the man with the duck with the
Yeah,
shades.
that's bad
Your
duck.
profile picture is so cool. Okay, so nice to meet you. So
Nice to
I
meet you.
noticed if people don't, oh, thank you, you're so sweet. So I noticed if people don't really know me right because of how I talk, say like if they say something and I ask a question or something, or I just say something back, I have to like over explain. So like how you just said, oh, if you weren't on mute, then we might have heard you. But when I was talking, I was actually just talking to my boo because he listening to or whatever. And I
Mhm.
was agreeing with what he was saying, right? But see, y'all ain't know that. So I wanted y'all to know, like, I knew I was on mute. Y'all so funny. But listen, to answer the question, I feel like a lot of people over explain because why you said that over explain, boo? Well, he said in his opinion, that's just what people do on the internet. So then he had me dying laughing, y'all, because he talk about like how when the people be on the YouTube videos and they be like, well, I don't usually do this, but it's like we don't know that. If you don't tell us how we know what you usually do, not saying we don't pay attention when
Right.
people do stuff, but it's like I think that's just the way of the world right now. Like, I know I over explain because I don't want people to get offended. People are easily offended like these days, and a lot of people take what I say the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I don't be wanting nobody to take stuff the wrong way. And I talk aggressive, but I really be in a good mood. Like, I'm so happy
Right.
right now.
I was gonna say, but
Can't y'all tell?
you got great energy, so
Oh,
I don't know
thank
why
you.
people would take
Well,
that
it's
as
not me. It's the
aggressive.
Lord. We got to thank the Lord. The Lord made me like that, and I'm sober. So now that's the real tea. Not a drink in me. Hello.
Nice.
My
That's
thing.
what's up. Diet
Oh,
Live
go ahead.
Talk.
Go ahead,
I
Miss
love
Kitty.
this. But yeah, that's why I over explain.
No, go ahead, Epic. You was gonna say something.
No, I was gonna say I feel like the reason why some people may feel when people over explain themselves, they're trying to not offend people. But at the same time, if you feel offended by something that somebody's saying, then I feel like it's the personal problem. Most of the time, that's the
Mhm.
personal problem. If you feel some type of way, then that means it's something about you that you need to fix. It's not me. Whatever I said, and I'm gonna stand behind it. If you feel some type of way about it, that's something you need to fix within yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
I have learned, and more people have to learn, I'm not responsible for what you feel about me. If I
Mhm.
said something that you do not like, because one is the truth, that's on you, boo. Fix you. Maybe my
Damn straight.
delivery at the time wasn't all that, but if I said it once, I can say it 4 or 5 more times. And the delivery may be a little different the second time, but you're gonna get the same exact thing from me.
Okay.
Preach.
My thing has always been I cannot be held accountable to carry everyone else's gripes, everyone else's offense, when all I'm offering you is information.
Yep.
You asked me a question, I answered your question,
Right.
and then you get offended at the answer. I cannot walk away like, oh no, you didn't like the way that I answered your question. I'm like, but I answered it.
Right.
And so it's a lot of times the reason why people are so for lack of better term, sensitive, is because we keep coddling people and giving them the impression that, oh, I must give you a pillow every time I'm finna say something to you.
No,
You don't need a blanket from me.
that's true.
I don't have to comfort you in us having engaging in dialogue. It should be a thing where the mutual respect you can see because I'm not disrespecting you.
That part. Miss Supreme said people over explain when they think you're dumb too. I over explain a lot to people I believe are stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah, I have to over explain everything to the Supreme.
Oh. Okay.
I thought that y'all was talking about, I didn't know, like in an educational setting. I thought y'all was talking about like to people in your life, like over explaining to your friends, or over explaining to people that you bump into in the store.
Right.
So it's throwing me off because I'm not really I'm not following who y'all are talking about.
I'm with you, and that's kind of where I was trying to get
No,
clarification
so,
because I feel it's like over explaining in general,
Yes,
not in
general.
not in a specific terms, you know.
Bad Duck was the one that mentioned how about if you're on the job? He's the
Yeah,
one that
Right.
inserted that into the equation. At first we were just talking about
general.
over explaining period to people that you come across or people that are in your life. So
Yeah.
when we got to the job, he felt like we should over explain when it comes to the boss. And I'm like, no. And that's how we got sidetracked. And
My
not necessarily
fault. It's
sidetracked,
all
but
my
that's how it
fault.
went
Okay.
into there, you know.
So yeah, like in a setting, in an educational setting, I mean, sometimes you got to explain, like my wife said, the stupid motherfuckers. But like if we're talking about like a person, man, I don't owe a motherfucker the only person I'm gonna give an explanation to is my wife, and I ain't finna do that too many times. I'm gonna say it once, and goddamn it is what it is.
That part.
Yeah, because we should be at a space in life, especially with intimate relationships. That person should know you. They know
Yes.
that you ain't over there trying to bite their head off with the way that you done said something. They should
Mhm.
understand your heart in the matter if nothing else. So
Right.
with that being the case, I'm like, I shouldn't have to always explain to you where my heart is when I'm telling you something that I know that's gonna ruffle your little draws or something,
See,
ruffle your feathers.
I
That's
feel
true.
like I have to over explain to hoes, but I don't have to over explain to hookers.
You know what?
What?
Sorry.
Mm,
Hey you guys, how y'all doing?
Hey
What's
Jay.
up,
They in the
Hey,
Jay?
building.
sugar
what's
cute.
going on,
What's going
Jay?
on, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Good.
So
How
I
you
kind of
doing?
been listening to some of what y'all said from the amount of time that I have been in here. I
Mhm,
definitely understand and I feel all of you guys' perspective for sure.
mhm.
Me, I don't know if it's more so of me being like in Atlanta. Atlanta is a really different city from a lot of other places, and the
It
people out here are
sure is.
different from a lot of other places. But I wouldn't say that I'm not the type of person to explain myself because I will always explain myself. And it's not because I feel like I'm forced to, it's because
Mhm,
I feel like some people, they don't know me, especially if you're a stranger. I want you to be able to understand whatever it is that I'm saying so you can get to know me and understand my side of however it is that I feel. And it's not like, and I could do that with anybody. Like, I understand that y'all probably talking about people that you do know. I will always explain to my significant other, like my husband, about whatever it is. Yes, he may know me, but sometimes I may be doing something that may be different from what I usually do. I will always explain to him so that he's always aware of what's going on. That's just
mhm.
a sign of communication and trust. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I will always do that with family members. I will even do that with friends. I don't mind explaining myself. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. I understand the point of some of y'all saying that explaining yourself is like, it comes off of the way y'all was explaining it as draining or something, or you feeling like you have to stand on something or whatever. I don't see it that way. I seen it as a sign of respect. You know what I'm saying? You trying to explain something so that there's no confusion in the air because people take things differently. Because some people deal with people that act a certain way, and
Mhm,
you may be dealing with them and you don't act that certain way. There's nothing wrong with explaining yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you have to explain yourself all the time and all stuff like that. You're allowed to say no to whatever you want to say to. You're allowed to say whatever it is that you want to say. But me, myself, and I am the type of person that will explain myself just so that there's no confusion because I am the type of person that will pop the fuck off if I explain myself and then I hear a different story from what I said. That's why I will explain it and I'll explain it thoroughly because I hate, absolutely freaking hate when people mess up what the hell I said. If I said something one way, that's what the hell I said. This is not no telephone. So I make sure that when I say it to you and it goes to anybody, that
mhm.
everybody knows exactly what the hell it is that I said and I stand on what I say. You know what I'm saying? So I always explain myself so there's just no confusion. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how
Right.
I am. And on top of that, like when it comes to apologizing or anything like that, I apologize because that's just a respectful thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I like to treat others the way that I feel like I want to be treated as well. I know, like, I be trolling with y'all, that's not even like included in this, but that's just how we play with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you do stuff like that when you know somebody. I wouldn't ever like troll somebody that don't know me because they're gonna think that's really my character. They're gonna think I'm really upset and I really don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? But with people that I do know, I can treat them some type of way. With people that I do know, even if they know me like from childhood, I will always
Mhm,
explain whatever it is I gotta explain. I will always apologize because people always need an apology or they need to excuse me. That's just manners. You know what I'm saying? I will always, if I'm in your way, I will always say excuse me. If you're in my way, I will always say excuse me or whatever. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? I will always be that way. I don't feel even if you're in my way, and you like purposely know it, I'm gonna be like, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever goes up, if it goes up from there, it goes up from there. My guy, my girl, whoever you may be. But I'm
mhm.
gonna always be respectful because if anything needs to be explained to anyone else, the side of the story that I'm explaining is gonna be real and true, and you're gonna be looking slow as fuck.
Yes,
You know what
baby.
I'm saying? But I'm always going to speak my part. I'm not gonna say that I have to over explain for anything, but it depends on who I'm speaking to. Because some
Mhm.
motherfuckers are slow. So sometimes I do have to over explain just so you can understand what it is that I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not like
Mhm.
to say I'm calling you out on some type of shit, but I just want things to be clear. So I
Mhm.
always like to be able to explain myself. That's just me though. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that there's
Right.
anything wrong with that.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I
We
think
know what
that's
you're
that
saying, Kiss. We know
There's
what
a,
you're saying, Chris. I definitely agree with that. Sorry, Miss Tina. Go ahead.
I think that one of the biggest issues that we're missing in this conversation is about over explaining. And I'm not talking about being disrespectful. Again, I said earlier that there's a difference between saying, I apologize, what I did was wrong. I was wrong for stepping on whatever it is that I did as that offended you. But the whole going into, I did this because of this, and my mind said, and what was I thinking at the time, and I'm a horrible person, and all this, that's the over explaining part. I think that along with that, the over explaining thing has more so to do with the going beyond the call of duty to make a person feel better, not going beyond the call of duty to make sure a person understands you clearly. I think that's different because if I'm explaining something to a person and they're not getting the concept, I'm trying to break it down to them in a way that they understand where I'm coming from
Yeah.
in conversation. That's a conversation. If you ask me, what did I mean when I said such and such, or what does that mean if I ask, or you're asking me a question about what I said because you don't have the clarity in it. That's a completely different situation than I'm over explaining, which is tethered to people pleasing. I think
Yeah,
that's different.
it is different.
Okay.
I mean, I definitely feel what you're saying for sure. I just kind of think that everybody is different in their own way because I feel like there's some people out here that really do go through some shit and do shit and like they don't necessarily mean to do shit. It's more so of like a lash out type of shit and they end up in a situation where they feel like they need to over explain because there's a lot of shit that they need to get off their chest and it's so called happened because of a situation that happened and it was their way of being able to release whatever it is. Like sometimes something happening doesn't necessarily mean that it's like I just kind of feel like everybody has their different ways of doing things. And I feel like a lot of things happen at different times to turn into something that you would have never expected it to turn into. Like something can come into a breakthrough for somebody and you would have never even thought that a simple apology would have turned into this person's whole life story because they're actually going through some shit and they have no one to talk to and they broke down. Some people do the most outrageous shit, especially when you don't fucking know them. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be the smallest things that happen that makes them want to like explode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think there's a way to say any and everything. There's a big difference between being disrespectful towards someone and um you just trying to make sure that they like you.
Hmm.
People go through stuff all the time. Yes, that is true. Am I trying to railroad them into jumping off the bridge? Absolutely not. However, when it comes to having a conversation with a person, yeah, I get the whole thing of saving space because they going through whatever, but with discernment, you should be able to tell this ain't a good time to talk about whatever you're going to talk about or address whatever you're going to address. I think people are intelligent enough to understand that something that they're saying is beyond the thing of offense as it relates to you're degrading that individual versus I'm telling you something as it pertains to a hard conversation. I think that's different. Or if you're talking to a person that you need to give them some education on something or you need to explain a process to them, that is completely different. But if I'm just having a conversation with a person and they can't just take the information at face value, you just pointed to something's already wrong with them. That doesn't have anything to do with me as it pertains to me just being assertive. Because I think that it's nothing wrong with being assertive and asserting yourself in a conversation, letting the person know, hey, um, I agree with this, or hey, I don't want to rock with that, or that's not something that I want to do, or I disagree with this premise, or what have you. And so, but again, we're still talking about having dialogue with an individual that is number one, mentally stable. Number two, we have some kind of commonality involved. And I'm not out here trying to be somebody's therapist to make sure that I'm not the straw that broke the camel's back.
That's
Yeah, I definitely do. I kind of just feel that if it's something like as small as a simple conversation and somebody goes into a deep whatever it is as far as explaining things,
Hmm.
it can easily just be the fact that they just don't have no one to talk to. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that's like that.
Hmm. I mean, at some point though, we still have to be accountable. If you don't have
What was
anybody,
the question? Because maybe I'm not answering whatever it is, right? Because I didn't know what the question was.
the
What was the
question
question?
is why do we feel the need to explain ourselves so often?
Oh, well then yeah, I kind of stand on what I stand on. As far as explaining yourself so often, I feel like I can explain myself because I want to make sure that people understand what the fuck I'm saying so they don't have to get slapped.
Okay. Okay.
No, and I
Okay.
think Kiss makes a great point. That's I agree with her. I think sometimes you have to, as the way I'm defining over explanation is that you sometimes have to over explain something so that people understand what you're saying. That's where I think there's a difference in right now in our group of the definition of over explaining, of where it deals with general over explaining in any situation versus over explaining in certain or different types of situations, like Tina's mentioning, where you might over explain to so the rest of it doesn't come off as hard or cold. So I think there's a little bit confusion from that at least with me there is, because I'm like, well, are we talking about this type of over explaining or this type of over explaining?
Can I add something to this? I got
Please,
the definition of over
please.
explaining, and this
Yeah.
is the premise in which I'm giving my point. Over explaining, in essence, is the act of providing more information than is necessary or requested in a given situation. It's that moment when a simple yes or no answer transforms into a lengthy dissertation complete with footnotes and appendices.
Which that's over explaining to
Hold on,
me.
hold on. Yeah, right.
I
What you
mean,
said about the Pentagon?
Yeah, I
Pensacola,
definitely
what?
agree with everything that you were saying, Tina. I most definitely agree with everything that you're saying. I don't disagree with it at all. I'm just saying, I just kind of feel like people in this society go through so much that sometimes little things can trigger them into wanting to be able to get chips off of their shoulder. Like you bumping into somebody and they drop their groceries, and then you be like, "Man, I'm so sorry that happened. I just been having so much on my mind. There's just like so much that's going on. Like I'm like they just probably get into a whole thing. That's someone probably releasing some type of stress that could have easily turned into something else if they wasn't able to release it then and there. But I
But that's not
completely
over
understand what
explaining, though, is
you're
it?
saying. It can turn into it. It most definitely can. Because
Because
I
I
feel
look
like
at
if
it.
anything, that would
Um,
be more so of you just apologizing versus you getting into like what happened to you that made you get into all of that.
but a person being triggered and going into some kind of uh, uh, um, having a psychological breakdown is not a thing of I'm over explaining because I'm having a psychological breakdown. I
Mm.
think that the thing is about um I'm trying to people please, not I'm triggered by something. You see what I'm saying? It's one of those things of I'm over explaining because I want you to like me, not I'm over explaining because I'm broken and I'm going through something. I don't think that that's the same thing.
No.
Okay,
Because you can
so
overshare.
give
I
me an
get that.
example or like a play out. Give me an example or like a play out on what you would say over explaining would be.
Over explaining would be um you looking at a person as if your job is to make sure they're pleased with you. It's a thing where um how come dinner wasn't ready at such and such a time? Because I didn't fix it till such and such. That would be the short answer. But if you go into the, but really, I didn't. I was hoping you wouldn't be here, and I thought about it, and I'm just such a terrible person, and I really didn't mean to. But when I was cutting the vegetables, I should have been faster, and I'm gonna have to work on that, because sometimes when I turn the stove on, that's the over explaining.
Yeah.
I
See,
mean, I
don't
feel that, but in a way, that kind of sounds like somebody breaking down.
right.
No, but this is the thing. People do that all the time with all kinds of people in different situations. It'd be stuff
But
like that.
do you think that's over explaining, or do you think that's making excuses?
Both.
There is a difference between making an excuse, which is I could have did it, but in order to keep from doing it, I put it off later, I procrastinated, or what have you. I'm talking about an individual literally had a situation that was unfortunate. And instead of being like, dang, I messed up and moved on, or this ain't the way I wanted to turn out, but hey, this is what it is. It
Right.
turns into a let me bow before you so you know that I'm in humble submission. You know what I'm saying? And I really want you to like me and the thing that I did. It is a completely different type of situation.
But see, here's where I'm getting confused, Tina, is
Mhm.
you keep going in what you're saying. You always go back to this. I feel like a failure because I'm having to over explain. And I don't think from the definition you read that those two are the same thing at all. That
The
feeling like a
what
failure has nothing to do with over explaining.
Well, I didn't go into the psychology of over explaining. I only gave the definition of what over explaining was. What I'm talking about though is giving you the psychology because she asked for an example. The example was given what the psychology behind the over explaining is, which will give you a better example of how it plays out. You see what I'm saying? But the over explaining in and of itself is just a thing of I could have just said yes or no. All that other stuff that is added to it. Oh, you so wonderful, you so great, and I just really want you to like me. And I'm sorry, I'm really not like this. I want you to understand that I'm this, and the other. That's a completely different. That's over explaining.
See, I don't see that.
Unnecessary. It's the unnecessary explanation. That's the over explain. It's the unnecessary part. I'm not talking about you're explaining the process and this and this and this happened, where you got 10 things that happened. And I'm not talking about you're making excuses, but I'm talking about this literally happened. There's a situation where something happened that was unfortunate. Instead of you just saying the things that occurred and this was the result, you go into the whole thing of the unnecessary portion of adding to the situation rather than just telling the person what happened, telling the person about the situation.
So would you agree then with your statement that over explanation is part of feeling guilty?
Yes, in a way, but I think it's more so has to do. Yeah, if guilt causes your trigger of people pleasing, then yes.
Because I could see that. I can make the correlation of what you're saying with over explaining as being part of feeling guilty and just going on and on and on, trying to feel better about yourself, so I get that, but yeah, I feel like
Hold on. Listen.
What?
We only got through the first talking point. We've been on for 47 minutes. Like, we gonna pull an all-nighter here?
Oh, that is so funny.
Like 47 minutes is kind of crazy. And then I think Supreme was trying to
but I definitely rock with you, Tina. I love the fact that you stand 10 toes down on whatever it is. I like that a lot. And I love people that's like that.
Oh, thank you.
Tina need a husband, man.
Nah, I love that so much.
I need a what?
Because there's a lot of people that's out here that will be like, once you spit something and you start saying something, they will then just agree with you. But I like the fact that whatever it is, if you feel it in your heart, that's what it is. That's what it is, and I fuck with it. Tina,
I agree.
a bounce ass bitch.
I agree. I'm just trying to. I think me and Tina. I'm just trying to seek clarification from her.
Oh no,
So I,
definitely. I
so,
understand because
so
I'm the
I
same way.
understand
I'm
where
stand
she's
on what I
coming
stand
from.
on, but I respect people
Yep.
that stand on what they
Yeah, we're
stand on
good.
too,
Hold
because
on,
there's not a lot
Supreme
of
trying
people
to
out here
talk.
like that.
Supreme's
Spring.
trying to talk.
It's pineapple juice.
Yeah.
He made
That's a safe word.
the safe
No,
word
I'm
is safe
just
word.
saying, you know, I think, and I'm not trying to run the panel. This is Elevated's panel, but we have ran that shit in the ground twice. Lord have mercy. Jesus.
And the reason why
But that's the whole point of
that topic
panels
was
like
trying to
this.
be broken down to a bunch of subtopics. It wasn't designed that way. It was a blanket statement generally.
All you motherfuckers are over explaining right now.
Oh well.
That's the most valid thing that's been said the whole night. Thanks for that.
That was right on topic. Nah, it's all good though. Definitely appreciate everybody for chiming in. Some more than others, but it's all good.
Not me. I don't hardly ever talk.
Oh, you full of shit, Bad Duck. What Ronnie was saying, explain it doesn't mean a loss of control or power. It's just sometimes common courtesy.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, so we're not talking
I
about
agree.
explaining, we're talking about over
Oh,
explaining. Like, how many times are you gonna say the exact same thing, without feeling like you're over explaining to somebody that just doesn't get it? That's kind of where we're heading with this topic. Or just because you made a decision, why do you have to, like Tina said, why do you have to break down the intricacies of what happened that caused you to come up with the decision, and then because you made the decision, now that made this decision askew and stuff like that? That's all we just saying. She said not too much on the voice of YouTube, sir. Man, I don't want no smoke, Yolanda. I really don't.
Okay,
I
Elevated.
don't want no smoke. All right. So our next talking point, over explaining, is rooted in seeking approval. This often comes from childhood or past relationships where you've had to prove your worth. Stop trying to control how others perceive you. Their perception isn't your responsibility. People who respect you won't need long explanations to believe your intentions. The more you explain, the less powerful your message becomes.
That's hit. That's heavy and it hit hard. I mean, ooh,
Yeah, man.
I said that for 43 minutes.
You sure
yeah.
did.
I mean,
Elevated.
Yeah.
Can you set the tone and say like the over explaining is rooted in are you talking about an educational setting, or are you talking about dealing with individuals?
This is my bad. Okay, Supreme. I get what you're saying. We're talking in the sense of individuals. This is not education. This is not job. This is you and other people that you come across in everyday type of life.
Okay.
So yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah.
that makes more sense to me too. Thank you.
Okay, so Bad Duck has nothing else to say because he was confused. I should have
Well,
always explained.
I was going to say with this, because this again, when you get into this question of over explaining is rooted, or this point over explain is rooted in seeking approval, then it goes back to making way more sense what Tina said, because that's she's talking about more of the topic to me of what it's about versus just in general going over explain things to your boss, over explain things to your spouse, over explain things to stupid people, etc., etc. This is talking about more the effect that it one could have on you, and two, why you may be doing that. Does that make sense, Tina, to you, what I just said?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. I felt like I got off track there for a second.
So bad Doug. As far as dealing with people, you do have to deal with your spouse on a daily basis, or at least I will
No,
hope.
I don't. No, I don't.
Not
I
not
don't.
not you, bad duck. You have to deal with bad duck spouse. I'm saying like as a person in general, you have to deal with your spouse on a
Right.
daily basis. So that's still outside of work or educational school
Mm-hmm.
type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we mean by this.
Okay.
Uh okay, thing.
Hey, Elevated,
Yeah,
can I say something?
of course.
So the title is Breaking the Habit of Over Explaining Yourself. So you're
Right.
coming from a premise that it's an issue that needs to be resolved.
Right.
So just by the title, you're not
Mhm.
talking about a situation where over an explanation is needed or merited. You're talking about like someone coming from a subservient position of over explaining for approval. So on that
Gotcha.
premise alone,
Gotcha.
I think that's an issue. And if you're so we're not talking about just from the title, and you can correct me, just from the title, you're
Mm-hmm.
not talking about like a loved one. You're talking about like someone that constantly is over explaining themselves because they are coming from a position of subservience.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
in that respect, then motherfuckers need to just say what the fuck they need to say and let it lay where it lay.
So my question would be, what would be your advice to someone? Because if you are an adult now who had started this habit as a child, maybe a parent got onto you, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe you just didn't grow up in the best situationships and things like that. And it becomes ingrained, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
when you go up to order food and you say, "Can I have this?" instead of "I would like," right? It's a habit. So, how do you start to allow people to break that and understand and actually mentally get through that barrier?
I mean, I know. Here's my answer. I know it. I know. We're not dealing with work, but in my case, it was work where I learned that over explaining does not fix the problem. It ends up getting you in more trouble because they don't want to hear it. Especially if you do it 2 or 3 times in a row trying to make your point. Um, so you learn real quick you fare a lot better just kind of like Tina said, giving the straight, quick answer, and don't go any more into it than you have to, and let them decide what they want to decide.
So, ooh, that was a good question, Mr. Supreme.
It was very much so.
Oof.
Because a lot of it stems from things that are embedded within the psyche from childhood. You know what I mean? Like for me, I'm without giving all of my business per se.
Mhm.
Growing up, when my parents said, "Well, you can't," or whatever it was in that of regard, uh, for some reason, at young for me, it was like,
Mhm.
"Well, why not? Why can't you explain that to me?" You know, I can even tell you right now, like where that being so young, feeling like, hey, if you can tell me no, you should be able to explain to me why not. You know what I mean? I mean,
Mhm.
explain it to me. It starts young, and that's layers and years of stuff that has to be dissected and dealt with. You know what I mean? So that you can learn how to navigate that space of not feeling the need to it over explain every single thing in order to gain approval in any arena, actually. And that's just my opinion. It takes time to navigate for it to be picked apart, to be healed, to be able to learn how to get to the point where you can, I said what I said, and that's it. I still navigate those spaces where I want to
Yeah.
over explain instead of like earlier when Miss Tina was saying yes or no. Did you blah 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 blah? Yes or no? Not the the extra over giving a whole dissertation about why you doing what you're doing.
Right.
I think that what Rodney said about unnecessary to you because your dismissal of their feelings. And I'm like, I'm literally going by the definition of over explaining. It's not a dismissal of the individual's feelings. It's you coming to a place where you assert yourself, where you just answer the question without adding other things to it, or you
Yeah,
just address an issue without adding other things to it, and let that be where it is. If a person has a
Hmm.
question, you answer the question. But I'm talking about you offering more explanation than what is required or what is requested. That has nothing to do with the other person's feelings. It's about what you think their feelings are, and you trying to coddle them to keep them from feeling that way about you.
And I think you're exactly right. And where that comes from, I think, is a place of confidence, if that makes sense, where you feel
Mhm.
confident enough in what you're saying in short that you don't need to over explain.
Right.
I think you'd be more apt to over explain things if you're not confident with what you're thinking or what you're feeling.
Mm-hmm. Right. That was that's actually one of the talking points also about the confidence. So yeah,
Hey,
confidence does have something to do with it. Yeah, what's up, Supreme?
I know some people are gonna disagree with me, but
Mm-hmm.
hell, I think some people should be dismissed. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's that's just that's how I deal with life. Everybody to me don't deserve respect and fucking explanation. Fuck them, dismiss them. Who are they? Who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? That's just
Right.
me. Some people ain't gonna agree with it. That's okay, but that's
I
how I
would
live my
like to
life.
jump in.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Nah, in a way, what you just did, in my opinion, would be over explaining because you like, I know some people ain't gonna agree with me. Okay, so if you know that, just say what you gotta say.
Yeah, you're right. I do that for the broken pussy people though. But you're right. You're right.
Oh,
My
No,
husband
no.
said the internet, see?
slide fell on the floor.
He
Hey,
said
you're
if you
right.
wasn't on the internet, you probably wouldn't give a.
So what I said earlier in the comments was I feel that a lot of content creators do that naturally, almost subconsciously, where you guys do over explain and explain why you said something, did something,
Yup.
or feel a certain way because you're trying to connect with an audience. And especially when you don't know anyone, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just through a screen that's how you're building
Right.
connections. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of times everyone kind of does that to an extent.
Oh, yes, Mr. Prince, lock it. Yes.
Nailed it. That you
Yeah.
W's
nailed it.
in the chat for Mr. Prince.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, go away, Supreme. We want your wife on panel instead.
Okay,
Kidding.
we'll see buttons later. Butt impress.
that was
But what it was, butt impressive.
you said button pressing. That's good. All right, that was I can't get over that. He said broken. I ain't gonna say it. That was wild though. Oh man. All right. So is over explaining a sign of insecurity or empathy?
I feel like it depends.
Insecurity. I
Yeah.
say insecurity.
Security.
I agree. It depends on what it is. Because if you have someone, I go back to if you think they're a complete dumbass, right? You're going to over explain just so you feel they can understand what you're trying to communicate and get across. And
Mhm.
I don't know about y'all, but most of my family are complete dumbasses. I love them to death, but I've got to
All right.
break it down and over explain and draw something out a million times longer than I would to my husband.
Mhm.
And then on the flip side, right, if I'm trying to talk to my husband about something and it's sensitive, then I might be really empathetic with it and be over explaining coming from that standpoint.
Mhm.
But it just depends on what it is.
Yeah, to build on what she said, if you didn't catch it, half of white people are dumbasses.
Mm.
I can say that. Sorry.
Bad
No,
Duck's
she's right.
views are not the views of everyone else on this panel. They might be, but we will not say it out loud. So we
My
do not
views are
stand
my
behind.
views only, so please don't hold it against the host or the
We do
channel.
not stand behind Bad Duck on that one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's a cool guy.
So I mean, I hear a lot of
Just trying to make it funny.
words being used like, dumbass is stupid, slow, things of that nature. And I get it. Everybody uses, the words that they choose to use. At the same time, it's like we all have a perspective. Does someone have to be dumb, stupid, slow, crazy? Um, instead of just having a perspective, that's different.
Okay.
So Yolanda, you know I rock with you, and
For sure.
I'm not disagreeing with you just for the sake of disagreement, but everybody's not equal. There are some slower to
No.
figure it out people, and to deny that
Right.
would, you know what I'm saying, would be disrespectful
Yeah.
to people that get it quickly.
I get you. I totally
So
understand what you were saying.
I think I use the term dumbass loosely, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
because everybody is an expert in their field. So if you talk to an electrician, a plumber might not know nothing that he's talking about. It doesn't make him dumb. He just
Right.
doesn't know that field. But I think we're talking about like in general knowledge. And my wife is specifically talking about, because she's a teacher at a college, so she's specifically talking about like people like that, that she literally knows more than them. It's not even disrespect. She knows more than them. So
I got
sometimes people learn slow, and so I think and Bad Duck too, because I think he's in a position of authority, and sometimes just people under you, they don't get it. So
Well, I'm saying even
Hold on.
people that aren't in school, sorry to interject, but people that I'm not teaching, just even like family members, friends, right? You're just not on the same intellectual level. And you have to either adapt your terminology, you have to adapt your conversation, or over explain it, right? So they can understand and digest the content.
Yeah, I totally, I
Elevated.
totally, I totally, I
I
totally
definitely
understand
agree with that.
what
Give
you
me
both.
an example. Elevated. Give us an example of something that would be an over explanation, like with just a random person. Like let's say we're in the grocery store.
Okay. Shit. Let's
When
say
somebody asks you if the fruit is ripe and then they go into a 30-minute spiel about trying to tell if it's ripe or not, that's over explaining.
Good one. So how do you know that the fruit is ripe? What are you searching for? What are you checking for? Let me stop.
Oh man, I just had a bad joke come to my head. Sorry.
Yeah. Keep it to yourself. Thank
Yeah, I'm going to.
Oh, bad job. But that was a good example about the fruit. I think I was gonna say something about the difference between a tangerine and an orange, but I guess it's the same difference.
But I think in that case, we're talking about just general, just a general explanation of over explaining versus what we're talking about tonight, where it's talking about more the insecurities or the empathy and so on situations where it's a problem versus just somebody that won't shut up about how ripe the fruit is. So
Do you think people be over explaining, trying to prove that they're right?
oh god, yeah, all
Definitely.
the time.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it
so
over explaining or is it defending a position?
I think
Same
it
thing,
can
isn't
be.
it?
I think it can be
No,
both.
No?
no,
Let me think about it.
because, and the reason why I say no is because over explaining has tethered to it unnecessary information that
Mm.
is unwarranted and
Hmm.
volunteered by the person. Not you trying to explain to a person what you mean when you say something or when explaining a situation. It's different.
Yeah, and I think you're saying the key point to this discussion here too is that what we're talking about is that where it's adding unneeded things to it because of either empathy or insecurity, possibly. Is that right?
Yeah, I agree. It comes
Okay,
from the place of, yeah, insecurity. Because again, it's about the person thinking, I want you to like what I'm finna say.
right.
I want you to like me as a person, even though I'm about to say something that could derail how you feel about me. I'm trying to protect my image of myself in your eyes by saying this is the
Yeah,
point.
it's almost like a subset premise of over explanation. It's like you have the general that just is just people don't have any feelings about it. That's just who they are. They like to over explain things. And then you have this premise that we're talking about where yeah, the feelings are there and they're doing it for a reason to themselves. Does that help, Supreme?
I mean, yeah. I'm listening to everything, and my wife is talking in my ear too. So yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to figure it out as we go too, because it's a very
I
fine
think
line we're
I don't
teetering
think
on here.
I don't think Elevated knew how deep this conversation was gonna go.
yeah.
But it was still a great topic, and I
Yeah, nothing
appreciate
wrong with it.
all of the perspective that has been
we we
given
got a
to
lot of
it.
perspectives going
Yeah, it's
on.
a whole lot. I mean, initially,
Like
why I
it.
put up the question, yes, and I'm over explaining, so I will say that. Um, I'm telling the truth, okay? So, being that I'm a mom with special
Mm,
needs, those phrases here and stupid slow stuff like that was where I was coming from generally. But once he explained it, him Supreme and Miss Supreme both explained their perspective. It just shined a better light on what they were saying. So I appreciate
mm.
that. That's all I wanted to say on that.
Yeah. My
We
wife
were
is
not
one of the
trying to be
yeah
derogatory
my
with
wife.
special needs.
She's specifically saying, "Hey, let him." I'm not trying to be derogatory. My wife, Yolanda,
No.
my wife is the direct opposite of me. Like she ain't trying to offend nobody, and then you know what I'm saying? So no, she's just speaking facts. Some people just are intellectually slower than others. I mean, that's the truth,
Right, and
right?
I get it. I get it. It was just that, it's the sensitivity because I am a mom with children with special needs. So, but
Mm,
once I weighed it too, I knew it wasn't like negative in connotation. That's what I
Right.
mean. So
Yeah.
I
Right.
Right.
that's what I wanted to say. Just I appreciate you two uh both uh giving your perspective on the matter. So thank you.
Of course. I appreciate you hearing us out and, not
I didn't
not
even
taking
know.
it the wrong way.
I didn't even know you had special needs children. So shout out to you, because I always take up for. When I was growing up, we called them retarded. It's not even derogatory. Special. What you supposed to say?
It's
What
derogatory.
you supposed to say?
special needs.
Needs.
I have
Special.
children with autism too.
Right. So
Hmm.
children like that, I don't even make fun of them like at all. In the store, they be loud. I'd be like, "Hey, man, it's okay." But so yeah,
Shit,
no.
no,
Shout
because
out.
usually they smarter than you on some things.
Yeah.
Some things they
So
are. You're right. You're
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, IQ be off the
Yeah,
chain.
they IQ be they be smart as
yeah.
hell. But yeah, but anyway, I give Elevated the floor back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. All right.
Hmm.
Silence is powerful. Silence can speak louder than any justification. It protects your energy and avoids unnecessary back and forth. It creates curiosity. People start noticing your composure. Not reacting immediately gives you time to respond with clarity, not emotion. So,
Silence
um,
is very powerful. It can be used. It could be used dual in dual manners.
mhm,
Mhm.
Silence. I think one time we were talking about being argumentative and not arguing.
yep,
In that bit of silence. And then sometimes when we were, a couple of days back or a week or so ago, we were talking
Mhm.
in terms of narcissistic behavior, how
Mhm.
narcissists kind of use that moment to manipulate the narrative of the situation. But
yeah,
Mhm.
silence is powerful because a person can't, for real, they can't argue with themselves. If you
Mhm.
silent and being super emotional and they just get quiet, what are you going to do? You're going to stop because you're not getting the reaction that you thought you was gonna get.
that part.
Mhm. Now, I do want to say, I'm just be honest. I'm not on camera because I'm eating. I don't want to eat in y'all face, and I can't offer y'all none. But like, I notice when I just allow people to talk, like sometimes, I don't know. I have noticed that with me just like allowing people to talk and not just listen. I don't know. I feel like things go a little bit better. And I think people are noticing my calm, you know, my calm, my calm realness, if that makes sense. But
Yeah,
it's not me. It's all the Lord. That's who I believe in. But yes.
Mm.
right. So again, like once somebody, not somebody, once you have to make a decision and you say what it is, be that yes or no. Obviously, some people gonna try to get you to over explain, and like, nah, like that's what I said. That's what it is. Stand on the 10 toes down. Period. And after that, they could go ahead and run off at their mouth, and I just remain silent because the answer's not gonna change. They're not going. Nobody's gonna guilt trip me or anything like that. To move off my square.
But that's the power of confidence. When
Right.
you've said what you needed to say
Hmm.
and you're okay with what you said, it is the silence that allows you to, in fact, activate that assertion.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, when you have said what needed to be said, there's no need to add anything to that.
That
And
part.
you can allow the person to listen to what you said in you saying what needed to be said. And once you've left it at that, they don't have other things to wrestle with because you added other things to the story or to your explanation that they would have to consider. They could just get straight to the point because you got to the point.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that silence calms emotion. You got one person flipping out and flying off the handle, and the other person just shuts up and just, it's like a massager. You know what I mean? You're like, wait a minute, I'm flipping all the way out, and this person is, boom, they just
No. Mm-mm.
quiet.
That only goes one way. When women are
That's
silent,
bias in itself.
it's calming and massaging to men when the women are quiet. But when the men are quiet, it just makes the woman like more pissed.
Yeah.
And
Let's
some
be
men,
real.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's true.
asshole.
Now I'm gonna I gotta co-sign with Bad Duck on that point of view. I agree
but
on that one.
but I'm a charming and loving asshole. Okay.
I disagree with him on that one. The asshole part, absolutely, but the other stuff, no.
You just said you agreed with me.
No, no, you didn't say
You
all that
gaslighter.
charming. You didn't say all that charming bullshit.
I'm a real talk, man. I was having real talk.
Yeah. So Jay, you supposed to be Harley Quinn or something?
No, I am cotton candy clown.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You like
But
my
you look
cotton
good.
candy?
She laid me like a lollipop. Oh, never mind.
I'd let that cotton candy. I would
Oops.
I
let
think
that
my
cotton
husband
candy
like a
melt in my mouth.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's so funny. I look a hot mess because I've been out all day,
Yeah.
and yeah, so.
Girl, you're sugary. Cotton
Oh
candy
yes,
sugary.
that is most definitely
Mm,
true.
Jay,
Boy.
you ain't never been flirted with by a middle-aged, balding white man, have you?
That's
Yes,
right.
actually,
I'm
I
sure
have.
she has.
I have. Thank you.
Jay, you
I'm just
better hope
teasing
it
you.
don't
You
rain
look good
tonight.
though.
You gonna melt.
What you say, wifey?
You better hope it don't rain tonight. You gonna melt.
I know, right? Oh my gosh, because I'm so sugary. Oh my God. Thank God I'm already inside
There
because
you, Jay. I mean,
Lord.
Jay, you can put on your after dark voice. Oh my God, yes, I'm sugary.
That's like salted
Your
and
side
sweet
hustle
caramel
needs to
right
be
there.
phone. What is that? What do they call
The
them?
phone
I'm about
sex
to get
lady.
off of here and get in the
Yeah,
chat.
they have a name.
Oh, I forgot he
Thanks
left this.
for stopping by, Jay. We appreciate your perspectives and stuff.
Jay, I love you. You
Oh,
look good.
Bye, sugar kisses.
I'm gonna be
Damn,
in the
bad
chat.
duck.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the
Bye,
chat.
Jay.
Like my
Bad duck just
pieces.
loving everybody, ain't
Bye
he?
bye.
Hey, I'm
All right,
a
y'all.
hugger, man. I'm sorry. I like to hug and
You one of those creep guys. Okay.
love everybody. No,
You walk up to women, hey, where's my hug? Where's my
no,
hug?
I do that to men too. But
Whoa.
it just because it
Okay.
freaks the shit out of them to do it.
Yeah, you might get
What's
knocked the
the
fuck
next
out.
talking point?
I got you. I did have a question, but we already
Yeah.
talked about it, so fuck it.
Ends a need
I
for
already know
validation.
that. So confidence ends the need for validation. When you
Agreed.
trust your decisions, you don't need permission from others. Confident people operate from self-trust, not approval seeking.
Agreed.
Validation becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Confidence is quiet and security is loud.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that's
Yep. Agreed.
That part. Okay, I didn't miss nobody in the chat. Next question: how can you set boundaries without sounding defensive? I mean, not being defensive. You become defensive when you have to start raising your voice and things like that. You know, you say what it is one time, and that's just what it is.
That's it. I said what I said.
That's
and
it.
you gotta hold your stance. Period.
Yep. No pivoting off your square. Say it one time. That's it.
Because when
That's
people
where
see
her
you
searching comes in.
yeah, you gotta be because if people see the littlest glimpse of hesitation, then they're gonna try to move you off your, that I'm holding this stance.
Yep. Manipulation. They're gonna see that little glimmer of light, and they're gonna try to extort
Yep.
it. So
And they will.
right. Bad duck wilding. Right. All right.
Sorry, I'm just being bad duck. Oh wait, I'm not sorry. I apologize. I'm just being bad duck.
See you
Don't
always explaining.
don't bring that sorry stuff over here. I watched that. I watched that too. That Lord have mercy. That went on about as long as the thing over here went on. Lord Jesus.
Stop over explaining, bad duck. Yeah.
Sorry, man. I
Here you go.
hear
All
them.
right, don't worry
I
about
hear
it.
them points, and I just keep
Hold
holding
on.
on to them. Yep, go.
Look, you piece of shit.
I love you too, man.
All right. Protect your energy. Over explaining drains your mental focus and emotional bandwidth. Every unnecessary explanation is time and energy you can't get back. Boundaries help filter who gets access to your attention. Sometimes the most mature move is saying, I stand on my decision.
Yep. I think that's a
That's
key
it.
point in life is protect your energy. That applies to
Yeah.
everything, especially even this. especially even. That didn't make sense. Sorry, especially this.
Yep. And it's going to be our last question. So, when is silence the most powerful response?
When you've been honest.
All right.
That part.
Tina stole the show.
There you go.
That
I
part.
mean, that's it all day long. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's over.
Yeah, no,
Listen,
it is though. Go ahead, Bad Duck.
When your woman is yelling at you,
No, Bad Duck. No.
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 Oh, okay.
no.
Sorry.
Hell no.
I mean, I apologize.
Oh my goodness, bro.
When is your last response? No. I don't know. I think us as content creators, it's hard for us to be silent. Shit, we so used to, we talk for a living.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's
I don't
real.
think it's that hard.
What?
Well, it's like radio. You don't want dead air.
That's very true.
When is silence the most powerful response?
My bad. You was reading my false Supreme.
I don't know, man. I really ain't got an answer to that one.
Supreme don't be silent.
Nah, I let my shit be heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
and that might be a character flaw too. That might be a character flaw.
Remember that thing about protecting your energy? You can only listen to so much Supreme before your energy is like, it's zapped.
Well, then you can leave.
Yeah, you can leave, like my wife said. You can,
I'm giving you crap, man.
you know I know, Muff. You know I know.
Yeah.
Anybody that watch it, you like Bad Duck. Okay, I'm gonna use your example. Even when Supreme does do this to your energy, like he'll just turn around and like he'll shoot it right back up.
Yeah,
Pause.
we'll ramp it right back up. Agreed.
Most of my rants come from a place of love.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so when
That's-
people get mad, oh, yo, he talking about me. Like,
yeah.
just listen and think about what he's saying.
Yeah.
Be like,
I'm the same
oh,
way. I mean, all my comedy and stupid comments that I make just to razz people, it all comes from a place of love. If I didn't like you and I didn't respect you, I wouldn't razz you. I wouldn't give you shit. I would just ignore you completely.
Right.
So
Yeah.
So
I just like keeping it a stack.
Keeping it 1,000.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, when you just lay it out there, they can do what they want to do with it. But you already laid it out there.
Mhm.
So either they going to eat or they going to walk away starving.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing else for
That's true.
Hold on, Tina.
true.
What we talking
Right,
about laying out there?
again.
So they could eat or be starving. What you talking about, Tina?
them.
Watch yourself now, stuff.
what's homebody? Trish, what are you going on?
She said every time,
What she said. Eat it or
every
walk
single
off.
time.
I
Just
don't know
eat
what
it or
homebody
walk
Trish
off.
is even talking about.
She's
I don't
saying
either.
she
I
about to
don't know,
get-
but it's hilarious.
It is.
She about to get put in time out.
Yeah, I would
Nah,
time
right,
out,
bro.
but she's a mod, so
Nah, we good though.
That don't mean nothing. Managing mods put other mods in time out.
Indeed.
Yes, we do.
Talk that. Talk that stuff.
I mean, I ain't trying to get her timed out or nothing. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you is.
She doesn't
You
have
throwing her
time.
under the bus.
Damn, Tina, that's not nice. Why are you being so mean to Trish tonight?
What was the question again?
I'm kidding.
Well, I think
So
we're
the
all
question was,
What is-
when
oh,
is
when-
silence the most powerful response?
who was that asked that? Epi
That was Pooh. That was Epi Pooh.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now, I'm gonna need you to get this Obama phone working, Epi Pooh.
Hey, I used that.
Oh,
I
Obama
used that
phone.
joke earlier.
Oh, Obama phone. I buy no Obama phone.
gonna leave you alone.
Look,
I
look,
had no Obama phone. I had
she
what?
everything else I just said. Like
I'm glad y'all ain't hear my husband in the background talking about I got a Boost phone. I ain't got no damn Boost phone.
I got a boost
Hold
phone.
on.
That
Hey,
hubby
Epi,
doing it
Epi
Yeah,
Pooh,
badly.
hubby
Epi
talking about
Pooh,
I had a Boost phone.
Epi Pooh.
I
I
got
think
a
you need to
boost
be
phone.
silent and let your husband talk.
Show
He
him your
talking.
power.
My husband said I had a Boost phone, and I was telling him I was in a relationship.
Damn.
Hubby cutting up.
You know what, homebody Trish? Hold
That's
on,
wild.
man.
What?
Wait. I'm talking about Supreme saying he can't be quiet. Okay, that's when she said every time, every single time. And he said he has to be heard. Y'all all against me. That's fine. All right, Trish, you got you got it.
Our household gets.
You got it. She over explaining. That's all it is.
Yeah, she over explaining, and
She,
she
she
needs to
ain't
be
listening to
silent.
nothing we said this whole hour and a half.
Homebody Trish
She's
needs to
feeling
be
insecurity
silent.
right now. Yeah.
That part. You made your decision.
So-
Stand on it.
Is a silent woman sexy?
Sometimes.
Mm-mm.
It depends on what she's saying.
That part. Exactly.
Elevator said, "Nope, you're not finna get my channel messed up."
There's a
Like
time.
if she just silent because I might have did something, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm not eating none of her food till she calm down. I'm not saying nothing to her. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go sleep out in my car somewhere, down the road.
Karma speaks, doesn't it? Tell me about it.
Tina said she got a warm plate for you in Memphis waiting on you.
Hey, she better lay it on out so I can eat or be starving.
Oh wow.
Well. Ooh. All right, neck bone.
Hey.
Neck bone.
Watch yourself, son.
Supreme over here
Not too
playing
much of the
matchmaker.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's the first time Tina ever been quiet. I'm gonna end on that high note. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the internet street, but you spent some time here. I appreciate y'all for that. Everybody take care. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace out, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Y'all have a
Peace
good
out.
night.
Good night.
Good night.